Hey Pilots, Plasma 1945 with 5 reasons not to get the Pimax crystal based on yours truly experience. And the horror story of the quality, well, watch till the end. Alright, first off, view. So this is an approximation of the view you'll get with the Pimax crystal. And that is compared to the Reverb G2, which reduces the view a bit more. And I would say maybe it's a little bit looser on the sides, so there's a little bit less space on the sides of each one. But that's sort of the difference that you get. So you do get some increase in viewable distance. Also, you need to move the head a little bit less because the Pimax crystals lenses are offering a larger sweet spot where things are sharper. But you still need to move your head, and you can't use the entire space of the real estate that you get. So let's put the Pimax crystal back on. And here in red, I highlighted the area that is hampered by edge blurriness. That is where if you just move without moving your head, just look down with your eyes, even with eye tracking, it looks blurry. And that's because the actual lenses are causing blurriness around the edges and chromatic aberration, which causes corners and edges of lit contrasted items to have a weird sort of a hue or edge, where it's a blue or a yellow color that gets attached to it. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And yes, the crystal is sharper throughout a larger portion of it, but the edges are blurry, which means you still have to move your head around, and you get a reduced overall size. The second thing you're going to notice is barrel distortion. So this is supposed to be a set of straight lines on the map. For me, it was a shock because in the Reverb G2, these lines are indeed straight. And when I pulled up F10, I was kind of shocked because all of a sudden these lines on the map were bulging at me. It's not as noticeable when you are in the cockpit of the plane, but when you are actually looking at something that is supposed to be flat, you get this weird bulging effect. You can adjust the IPD, adjust the lenses, but this will still occur. This also affects your depth of field and depth of perception a little bit, I noticed, but it's just weird and offsetting and off-putting, and it's probably going to get worse with wider angle lenses. Next thing is cost. The Pimax crystal came to me from China via the United States. That's right, Pimax crystal comes to you from China. And when the delivery arrived, the delivery person, the FedEx, UPS, I can't remember who it was, but they basically said, oh yeah, if you want to actually have this handed over to you, you owe us an extra $250. That's about $180 US that I had to pay at the door because Pimax ships through the States and you are charged duty. All right, next up is weight. The Pimax crystal is heavy. It is way heavier than the Reverb G2. It is way heavier than the Vario Aero. It is bulky, it is heavy. If I wanted to turn around my head to check 6, my headset would actually hit the back of my headrest on my chair. Quality. Quality is a concern. Right from opening the product, I was surprised. I expected more. The gaskets, the build quality of the product, the overall design is flimsy. It does not come close to the Reverb G2. The little port adjustment where the cable goes into the headset, it's a good idea because you're plugging that cable right into the adapter, which then goes into the headset. But the way it's mounted, the way its cable was rubbing against a moving part of the headset, that was just poor design. If you want to replace the headphones, well, you better be handy with a screwdriver because you need to unscrew the existing headphones and screw in the DMAS headphones. There are multiple USB ports. There's a separate USB port for charging and a separate USB port for updating. And that's because Pimax jammed a cell phone component into the headset to enable tracking, inside-out tracking. So there's actually a separate motherboard in the headset that runs the inside-out tracking. It's not integrated, and it has a separate USB port that you can't use for charging. The final thing is, the headset failed on me, and I looked at the reviews, and feedback. Looks like there was a bad batch in September where the headset simply fails to power up. You can do a reset, but it will not power up. Yes, the batteries were checked. Yes, it was charged. Yes, I tried the reset. I tried everything recommended. It failed after about 10 hours of use and never powered back up again. And this is quality control, quality control, quality control. Do I want to ship it back to China to get another one 2-3 months later? No, I said, give me a refund. And fortunately, I was able to ship it back to Quebec and Canada here. And I still have not received my refund, even though I received the headset a month and a half late after ordering it. And it's been another almost 2 months since I have sent it back, and I still haven't gotten my refund. So watch out, guys. I'm sorry to say this, but the Pimax crystal was not what I expected.